everyone, welcome back to Tween Scene. I'm Reese and today I'm going to show you how to make these hanging cloud decorations. Let's get into it. Today's craft, you will need your string, wooden dowel, 2 pieces of paper, a pencil, and some scissors. You will also need some cotton ball and a hot glue gun. To begin, you're going to take your wooden dowel and 1 piece of string. For this piece of string, you're going to take one end and you're going to tie it in a knot around one end of your wooden dowel. This is going to be for the hanging part so that you can hang up the decoration. I just tied 2 little knots here and then I went to the other side and tied a knot there as well, so that it creates a little loop on the wooden dowel. Now you're going to want to grab your other piece of string, and we're only going to be using one end of the string this time, and you're going to tie that in knots on the top as well to create one little side of the decoration. Grab your other piece of string and tie it in knots at the top of this one as well, and you can slide both of these strings around to wherever you would like, because this is what we're going to put the rest of the decorations on. Here I just went ahead and cut off the extra string on each of my knots just so that it would look a little bit neater, and then after that I went through with a hot glue gun and just put a tiny dot of hot glue over the knot to seal it in place. Wait for the hot glue to dry and then you can press it down like I did here, or you can just leave it as it is. Now it's time to assemble the clouds for the decorations. For this, you're going to need your cotton balls and your hot glue. Here I just put hot glue on one side of the cotton balls and just stuck them together. I made a form of 3 on the bottom with a row of 2 on top. I did this again with another 5 cotton balls to create the second cloud. Now you can set those clouds aside and grab your 2 pieces of paper because we're going to be making the sun for the decoration. Here I started with my darker sheet of paper, and you're going to want to create 2 circles the same size. I only have one on this piece of paper because I ended up going back and changing what I did, so you're going to want to leave room for 2 circles on this piece of paper, and just make sure that they're roughly the same size, so leave enough room when you're cutting them out. Now you're going to take your lighter piece of paper and you're going to draw the outer part of the sun. For this, you're only going to need 1 part, so you can use as much of the paper as you would like. You're going to take some tape or some glue and you're going to stick one of your yellow circles onto your sun background. You're going to leave the other one off for now because we will be attaching that later. Now it's time to set up your design for your decoration. Here you can just lay out your clouds and your sun in whatever spots you would like. To attach the pieces, you're going to need hot glue. Here I put a dot of hot glue onto the back of my sun and then I placed it onto my string. Once I placed it onto my string, I flipped it over to make sure that the string dried in the correct position on my sun. Once that hot glue was dried, I pressed it down. You're going to want to make sure to wait for it to dry though, because the hot glue will be hot for a little bit. We're going to do the same to attach the clouds. Here I just put a drop of glue onto the back of my cloud and made sure that it was large enough to place onto the string. Once it is dry, you can press that glue down as well. You will do the same thing to attach the final cloud. If you would like, you can go through and cut off some of the excess string like I did here, or you can just leave it on your decoration. Now we're going to fix up the backs of the clouds in the sun. Here I added another drop of hot glue to the back of each cloud and then grabbed a cotton ball and attached it to cover up the string on the back. Now you can grab your other yellow circle and we're going to place this onto the back of the sun. You can tape or glue that down. Once you finish that step, you have your finished hanging decoration. Thank you for joining me today to make these hanging cloud decorations, and tune in 2 weeks from now for the next craft. See you then!